people are dying left and right, but it's like really fun.
Hey guys, so today I'm here with Brianna, and this is my niece, and she has a beauty channel that I'll link down below. And today we are here to tell you why you have to watch MTV Scream. Also, this is going to be spoiler free up until the point when we will tell you that there will be spoilers, because this is not a show that you want to be spoiled for. There are 2 seasons of the show currently. Second season just ended, but they're really short seasons, so they're really easy to binge. And you just need to watch it because it is so good, and I need it to be picked up for season 3. Like, I will actually cry if it's not. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite shows. It's probably definitely my favorite show that's on TV right now, and that's saying a lot because The Fosters is on TV right now. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one I'm most excited about. Like, when that was airing and The Fosters was airing, I was more excited to watch Scream, and The Fosters is like my fave show ever besides Glee. So, in America, it is on MTV, but if you're outside of America, I'm pretty sure it's like a Netflix original show, so it goes week by week onto Netflix. So if you're outside of America, you're in for luck.
You are in for a treat.
Oh yeah. Get on Netflix and just binge watch it. It's so good. We binge watched
season 1
on when it was on Netflix. I watched it
the day after it came out.
Immediately rewatched the first season with her. I've seen it like a million times now, and we're gonna rewatch it again. The show is inspired by the Scream movies. Basically, they're back in the day. There was a bunch of murders by a man named Brandon James, and then now we're in present day, and there's a murder has come back to Lakewood and is targeting a girl named Emma Duval and all of her friends. It's fun to try and figure out who is the killer and why they're doing this.
We've gone through so many theories.
Yes. It's scary, clearly, because it's a horror show, but it's not too scary because she can't even watch.
I can't watch anything. I can't even watch horror commercials. I close my eyes during them. I couldn't watch it alone. I was really afraid.
It's good to have a buddy. It was more scary when I watched it by myself the first time. It was scarier than like when we watched it together. Okay, so we're gonna go over like our fave things about the show that are spoiler free. One really good thing is that everyone is hot.
Oh my god.
Like everyone on the show.
It's kind of like Teen Wolf because some MTV shows like everyone's hot, some MTV shows nobody's hot.
What MTV shows is that? Shade.
It's suspenseful, which just, I mean, draws you in every single week. And then the characters are really good. I really like all of the characters and their relationships together. And it doesn't just focus on the scary part of it.
Great characters. The show has really good characters. My top 3 favorites are Jake Fitzgerald, Brooke Maddox, and Noah Foster. I love them so much.
Completely second that.
Noah is so funny, and that's another good thing about the show is that he brings a lot of humor to the show. Like, it's not super serious and scary. Like, there's so much funny things in it, and he also makes the show very self-aware and like breaks the fourth wall a lot. And
oh my gosh.
I think
that's one of the best
I think that's like what makes it so good. It also has a really good soundtrack, which I always think is really good for shows.
Yes.
Like, it has a good score. I always love the score, but also the soundtrack is really good as well. There was one song that I've had on repeat for like days.
I love the music that they play when something scary is happening, and when you hear that music every week, you just know something's gonna happen.
Again, with how suspenseful it is, it's literally like one where you're gonna be like biting your nails, sitting on the edge of your seat, like what is about to happen. It keeps you really engaged, like, because there's like, okay, there's 10 episodes in the first season, and then you find out who the killer is at the end of that season, and then the second season, there's a new killer, and you find out who it is.
Me and Lauren will sit down and spend hours just talking about our theories.
We literally get on Voxer and talk to Peyton for hours discussing who we think it is. Another good thing about the show is that it doesn't have too many plot holes. It kind of all comes full circle, and everything has a reason for happening.
There was things in season 1 that didn't get resolved at the end of season 1. In season 2, you kind of found out all the questions you had from season 1. So I feel like if it doesn't get answered in the season you're in, the next season's going to answer those questions and also give you more questions. In some shows, you have a question from season 1 and
then you forget it. I also just love the relationships in this show. We love Brooke and Jake. They're definitely my favorite ship on the show. Oh my god, they're so cute, and clearly they're 2 of my favorite characters, so that just makes it even better. But I also really ship Kieran and Emma. I think they're super cute.
I love them.
We also want to say that the acting's not super like cringe-worthy like a lot of the shows. I mean, it doesn't have like incredible actors or anything, but they're pretty good.
I don't find myself like, yikes.
No. It's a slasher show, so all of their friends are dying, and I think that the actors do really well like with grieving scenes.
I really like the character development in this show. I feel like a lot of the characters, especially Jake, have improved like or changed throughout season 1 to season 2.
Like when I saw the commercials for it, I really didn't think it was something that I was gonna like, but I gave it a shot and it's become one of my favorite shows, and I just think more people need to appreciate it. It's so good. I guess that's it for non-spoilers. So if you haven't watched all the way through season 1 and all the way through season 2, do not watch the next part of this video. I do not want to spoil you, because this show, like, you have to not be spoiled for this show. So bye everyone who hasn't watched the show. Spoilers. So you've watched the show. For season 1, I had no idea who the killer was. Like, I literally didn't even guess anyone. In the last episode, when they go to the party and they see Piper's car, and then I was like, oh my god, I think it's Piper. And then I remembered her talking about her dad and how he was murdered and it wasn't fair and all stuff. I was like, her dad's Brandon James, she's the killer.
I remember in the last episode, which is so weird because she wasn't telling me anything when I was watching, but when I saw the car, I was like, it's her.
I also put that I didn't really care about the deaths in season 1. Like, I felt like the deaths in season 1, I mean in season 2 I cared about a lot more. Season 1 I really didn't care about anyone except for the sheriff. I thought he was kind of sad. But like that even that I was like, I don't really care that much. When Will died, like, I didn't care about Will, so I didn't care that he died, but I was really sad for Jake because that was his best friend.
And I think I felt bad about like seeing the grieving afterwards and the actual deaths of the characters.
My favorite episode in season 1 is definitely the one when they go to the abandoned bowling alley. That one is so good. So now we'll talk about season 2, and the clear starter for this is Jake. That was terrible. I have written down here, Jake's dead. Awful. In denial. I did not believe that he was dead for weeks. Like, they would literally, like, he split up his body and I was like, he's just chilling. He's not dead.
I know. Oh my gosh. I am still so angry about that death. Like, MTV Scream, what are you doing?
That's the worst death
was so bad
in the whole series. Like, why? Jake's body dropping on Brooke?
Why? Just why?
That was terrible. We suspected so many people. We suspected Kieran.
I thought it was Zoe.
Eli, Scavo, the sheriff, like the new sheriff, Mrs. Lang. Like, we suspected everyone, but I felt like Eli and Scavo were too obvious. But Kieran was just obvious enough. Like, they weren't overtly trying to make us think that it was him, and so that's why I kind of like thought it was him.
Okay, I'm gonna say from the start of season 2, as soon as Zoe was introduced, I was like, it's Zoe.
I kind of guessed why Kieran was the killer too. I was like, I guessed like a few different things, but one of my theories was like maybe he was dating Piper and now he's pissed that like Audrey and Emma killed her, and that is like why he was really focusing on Audrey and Emma, although I think he was more focusing on Brooke for some reason. Like, I feel like she was the one that made it out worse through season 2. I first guessed that it was Kieran when Mrs. Lang was in the hospital and then she woke up and she saw Emma and she started screaming and I was like, oh my god, maybe it's Emma. And then I was like, Kieran was behind her. It's Kieran. And that's when I started like getting on the train, and then I started noticing tiny little things that were like, oh my god, it's Kieran. Like when he called her mom and was like, me and Emma are going to this place, blah, 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 and he wasn't even going with her, like he was setting them up.
She's the mastermind behind like us, but we're watching, she's over there, she's like, it's Kieran.
In the last 2 episodes I started to second guess myself, like, because in the second to last I was like, maybe it's Eli, and then I was like, no, they're trying to make us think it's Eli, it's not Eli. And then the last episode I'm like watching it and I'm like, I know it's Kieran, but what if it isn't?
The scene when he was in the barn, or when the killer was in the barn, and we didn't know who the killer was yet, with Emma and Audrey, and you know, like he killed the mayor. When Kieran comes in it from his car and is like, oh my god,
he literally pulled around from back.
He pulled around from back. He was like, oh.
He always does that. He just shows up.
In the last episode where he was like, right before they found out, you know, he was the killer, he was like, I geo-tracked your phone with Noah and I found out you was here, and I was like, no, you did not!
Amadeus' acting was so good. Like, he went from loving boyfriend to psycho killer in 0 to 100. Like, his acting was so good. Also, I have written down sexy psycho.
Sexy psycho.
Shot.
He was so hot.
Like, I mean, he always debilitating. Holy shit. Like, I've always thought Kieran was so hot. But he's just a beautiful human. But him being a psycho, like, don't judge me, but that is so sexy. He's killing everyone and I find it hot. Even though we predicted that it was Kieran, I've never been like so nervous into it while watching the show. I was literally sitting up here biting my nails. I didn't even notice. I was like shaking. Like, I was so excited to see the killer. We were like screaming, and like honestly that reveal was so good. Even though I saw it coming, I just loved it. Also, Eli. I really did not like Eli throughout the whole season. Like, we just referred to him as creepy cousin, and like I just thought he was so weird, like a little freak. And then the final episode you find out that he's like, the whole time he was just trying to help Emma, and now I love him and I'm so sad that he died. Although, I mean, they didn't explicitly say that he's dead, and they might bring him back for season 3, but And he looked pretty dead. Also, Piper and Kieran, the thought of that is so disgusting. Like,
oh, so it's so weird.
and when he called her my Piper. You killed my Piper. I loved when he told her, and you just told me you loved me. She said, I did, not anymore. Oh, okay. Another thing. Seth Branson is the voice. I don't care. I know that he's not because I could have seen the person that voices the killer, but like it literally sounds so much like Seth that it freaks me out. Like it doesn't even sound like Seth using a
voice modulator.
It sounds like Seth being like, "Hey Emma." Noah is really cute, but he's not like hot. Like I'm not like, "Oh, I love."
Noah.
No, I'm like, "Oh, he's so cute." But like when I see Kieran, Jake, or Seth Branson, I'm like, "Hey, daddy."
Just like D-Robe.
Yeah. It's like. This last thing I want to talk about is the ending of season 2. Oh my god. I'm so mad that they left off on this cliffhanger, but I'm also happy. I cannot wait for October for the specials. Who called him? Is it Brandon James? Like, that's what makes it seem like that it's too obvious. And I think it's Stavo. I'm calling it out. It's Stavo.
Yesterday, she was just like sitting there, like, looking off in his face. I was like, what? And she goes, it's Stavo. Like, looks me dead in the face. And I was like, what the heck are you talking about? She's like, I've just been thinking. It's Stavo.
I don't know why. Like, I haven't seen enough to really know that it's Stavo, but I just feel like he was so suspicious this season. I feel like he's not going to be suspicious this next season. He's just going to be like Brooke's boyfriend, and he killed Jake. I don't even think Kieran killed Jake. He killed Jake because he's obsessed with the Lakewood Six and he wants to get in with Brooke. And that's what he had to do. When it's the killer, it's not super obvious, but there are things, like you can put things together. There was a scene when they were like in that carnival or whatever they were doing, and the killer's following, I think it was Emma and Noah, maybe Audrey, and then you see the killer over here, they're hiding right here, and then Kieran comes from around, like clearly Kieran took off his stuff, he's like, hey guys, are you okay? Like he was never directly attacked. Like you could argue that with when he was in there and he came off the duct tape, but you've never seen the killer attack Kieran.
No.
Like he put that on himself, and you've never seen the killer attack Stavo. I mean, Stavo's never even been attacked at all.
No,
like,
he hasn't even been targeted, like, phone call-wise.
I feel like Stavo, you know, he had the mask, and maybe Kieran took it from him. And that's what, because the mask just kind of disappeared halfway through season 2.
Yeah,
and then, you know, he gets the call, who told you could wear my mask?
Yeah,
like,
so.
Stavo's mask. Leave us a comment down below and talk to us about Scream, but, like, don't make it too spoiler because I don't want people to see spoilers. But if you want to talk to me about Scream, you can add me on Snapchat, you can DM me on Twitter, like, whatever you want to do. Talk to me about Scream because I'm all up for it. And so I guess that's it. Yep. I hope you like this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Peace.
Did you see that? Like, they come to points.
Oh my god. Kieran!
He is so...
my psycho boyfriend.
And, ooh, your mom is watching it.
Stop. Yeah.
That sure is something.
He's my favorite character. Stavo, what was I saying?
Stavo.
What was I saying about Stavo? Gustavo. So, today, I'm going to talk about why you should watch Scream. Yeah. And I have 3 pages of notes.
Oh my god.
And this is just talking about the basics,
There you go. Yes. Oh, awkward. No one's hot. No one's hot.
Awkward. Brandon James. Holy shit, look at that bird.
Oh my god.
It's huge.
I think it's a hawk.
Look at the Voxa.
Okay, what time is it?
It is 4:32.
Oh, 1 hour.
What are we talking about? Stubby.
Stavo. I like the cat. I also, this show rocks. I love this show.
It's like, sorry.
Like, I like them. Suspenseful. I never thought he was.
How do I stop recording?